Okay, now we are going to start with socio-economic impact of migration on page number 39. Now, before starting off with this, I'm going to explain two main things, all right? It's very important, so please pay attention. Now, whenever emigration or immigration is involved, two countries are also involved. Now, one is, see, people are coming into a country and people are exiting from a country. Now, the country where people are moving out from, it is known as the source country. It is known as the source country. So, what do you mean by source country? A source country is a country where people are moving out from. People are moving out from. Focus on the word from. People are moving out of this country. So, the country from which people are migrating from is known as source country. Now, destination country. Destination country is the country where people are migrating to. So, please focus on the word to. Migrating from and migrating to. For example, when people are migrating from India, India is going to be the source country. Migrating from India to Australia. Alright. So, people are moving out of this country, so this is the source country, and the country they are migrating to is the destination country. Alright. Now, what we are going to do in this segment is we are going to learn about the different impacts on and the effects that migration has on the source country, which may be India or any other country where people are moving out from, and the impact or the effect it has on the destination country. Alright, so please don't get mixed up. Source country is not always India and destination country is not only Australia. So any country where people are moving out, it is the source country. Any country where people are moving into is the destination country. Okay, now from your book, migration has both positive and negative impact on the destination country as well as the source country. Now, first we are going to do the positive impact that migration has on the destination country. First is cheap labor. Alright. So, what is happening when migration takes place is talented, that we did in the previous chapter. Alright, what kind of people move out of a country? Those type of people who are highly skilled but cannot find a proper job or cannot find a job as well, they are migrating out of the source country. So when they are going, so most of the talented people, many talented people are moving into the destination country from all around the world. That means in the source country, the number of laborers are increasing. Alright, number of talented or skilled laborers are increasing. So when there are more number of laborers, there is a competition for job. In the destination country, there is a competition for jobs. So these laborers are willing to work for a small amount of money. Alright, so what happens is, in the destination country, the positive impact is that the laborers available are very, very cheap. Okay, migrants often do many unskilled job for a very small wage, and even the skilled workers who have migrated to the destination country are also often happy to work on a small salary. Why? Because there is competition. For example, migrant laborers from Bangladesh work on small wages in India, and similarly laborers from Bihar work in different states of India on very low wages. Okay, now the second positive impact on destination country is skilled laborer. Now if you look at this arrow, I drew it to show that many skilled laborers are going to destination country. So what happens is all these people who have migrated from the source country are skilled, they are talented, along with the local people who are staying or who are from this destination country. The total of skilled laborers will increase. Understood? Because these laborers who have migrated from the source country are also skilled and talented, and already talented people are also present in this destination country. So as a whole, the number of skilled laborers are increasing on the destination country. So whenever you want anyone to do your job, you will always find a skilled laborer to do any of your work. Okay, into your book now. Some immigrants are highly skilled and talented, and they contribute to knowledge and production and for the well-being of all in the country. For example, Indians who have migrated to other countries such as USA, Canada, UK, Dubai, Singapore, etc. have contributed immensely, that means on a very large scale, especially to the field of science and technology. The Silicon Valley in the USA is dominated by Asians. That means the Silicon Valley in USA has a large number of Asian immigrants, especially Indians. Okay, now third one is cultural diversity. When people are migrating into a country from all around the world, they not only bring along with them their skills and talents, but they also bring along with them their cultural habits. Right? So when they come into the destination country, there is a mix of culture. So when there is a mix of culture, people tend to start tolerating or they start learning about different culture, and then they have a clear concept of different cultures and communities, and they start living in peace and harmony. So cultural diversity also helps in people knowing about different cultures and then knowing the reality before judging, knowing the reality about different cultures and then living in peace and harmony. Okay. Diversity helps people to appreciate humanity and human rights. The different states of India are the best example for this factor. In India, we have more than 100 different communities, different religions living in the same country, and we are tolerant. We live in peace and harmony. So the country India is the best example for cultural diversity. Now, negative impact on the negative impact on the destination country. Now, when we are talking about destination country or people migrating into the destination country, there are most of the talented people. Alright, there are most of the talented people belonging to some other country migrate into the destination country. Alright, so I've already told you, whenever people are migrating into a country, all these people are skilled and talented. Okay, so what happens is there is a negative impact on the local people. So because these talented people are willing to work at a minimum wage or at a less salary or lower salary, the local people of the destination country are unable to find higher paying jobs. Okay, because there is a competition between the immigrants coming from other countries and the local people. So there is a huge loss of jobs for the local people. Okay. Immigrants may also cause a problem of job issues, as the locals often lose jobs to the incoming workers. Number 2, discrimination and racism. Okay, now in the previous point I told you that there is peace and harmony. Okay, but there is not 100%, there isn't 100% peace and harmony when people from different communities come together. There will be at least 10 to 5% or 25% of clashes between two different communities or more than two communities. So when people coming from different places tend to follow their own ideas into the destination country, the people from the destination country and those people who have migrated into the country, they tend to fight with each other, because what happens is they are from two different countries, they have two different ideas, ideologies, thoughts and interpretations of the things that is happening in the society. So whenever there is differences in ideas, it tends to clash with each other. Okay, now number 4th is breakdown of culture and traditions. Now this usually happens when people migrate from their country and move to some other country. Okay, if it is a permanent migration, people tend to forget. If they've started living for so many years in the destination country, they tend to forget, because they are so used to the new lifestyle, they tend to forget their cultures and their traditions. Okay, and these people who are permanently settled there, they tend to give birth, they get married here, they start living here as permanent residents, they have children born, the children are born here, and these children, because they are born in a foreign land, tend to learn the new culture and traditions of this new foreign land. So it leads to breakdown of culture and traditions. That means the traditions that the parents were following tends to break down, because the children no longer want to learn the old traditions and cultures, no want to follow the old traditions and cultures. So they tend to follow the traditions of the new destination country. Okay, another one is disease. As long as people move from place to place, there is a risk of outbreak of contagious disease. The best example is the pandemic that is going on right now. Because people were migrating from one place to another, because people were traveling from one place to another, this pandemic was able to spread because people were moving from one place to another, and this pandemic has affected almost all the country, almost all the continents in the world. All right. Okay. Now on the home country, positive impact. First is remittance. The positive impact is remittance. Now, what is the meaning of remittance? Whenever a person goes to the destination country to earn, what do they send back? They send back money. Okay? They send back money. So, the money which is earned in the destination country is being sent back to the source country, so that the family who is living in the source country, the standard of living will increase. The lifestyle will change, will improve. Alright. So if this happens in so many families, then automatically, if a family is improving the standard of living, the society will also develop, and the country as a whole will also develop. So remittance, it is known that migrants send a lot of money back to their homes to support their family. This is a massive flow of foreign exchange of fund that the local government and families can tap or make use of for the development and economic growth. So money which is earned in the destination country is spent back home in the source country. So that money is circulated in the source country. So if there is lot of money, that means people are living a better standard of life. So development is taking place at the family level, at the society level, and in the country as a whole. Now next one is on the home country, better job prospects for local. Just the opposite. Here I told you there is competition for jobs because everybody is skilled. But here what happens is, because most of the people have gone to destination country to look for jobs, there are not many people who have stayed back in the source country. So whatever job is available in the source country is easily given to those locals who have stayed back in the source country. Here there is competition of jobs because it is the talented people who are migrating, and the local people for the same job, the local people and the immigrants, those people who have migrated, are fighting for the jobs. But here in the source country, because there are not many talented people, all right, the competition for job is not so much or not so high. Now, knowledge and skill flow. Knowledge and skill flow means when people have gone abroad to work or to some cities to work, when they come back home, when they return, they not only bring remittance, not only bring money, but also they bring ideas with them. All right, skillful ideas, innovative ideas. So when they come back home, they teach the same ideas. They may teach to their families, they may teach to their friends, or not only teach, they may just share with their friends. All right, so when they come back, there is a flow of knowledge, all right, improved knowledge of technology and skills. There is inflow, that means from the destination country to the source country, knowledge is coming in. All right, okay. Many business, farm practices and economic ventures have been started by people, all right, who got ideas and knowledge during the times they spent in migration. Okay, I'll give you an example of my friend who was working as a chef in New Zealand. Okay, and my brother also who is working as a chef in New Zealand. So these two, my friend and my brother, they have collaborated as partners, and they have opened. Now they were just working as chef, they were working under somebody else. Now because of the talent and the skills they learned, they came back home and they have opened up a restaurant in Bangalore. They have opened up their own restaurant. Just imagine, first they were working under somebody else, and now because they have opened their own restaurant, they are the owners of their own restaurant. So here they are the owners and they are earning more money. So the skill and the talent that they learned and the knowledge that they learned in New Zealand, same because of that knowledge, they came back home and opened up their own restaurant. Okay, negative impacts is loss of skilled laborers. Now, first is, when we are talking about skilled laborers migrating out of the country, that means the source country is losing their talented and skilled laborers. That is the first negative impact. Second one, population and markets. Now, in the source country, for the market to thrive, for things to sell, for goods to sell, you require a very high population. But what is happening? Since people are migrating out of the country, you do not get the number of people required for your market to thrive is very less. All right. Okay. Business do better with bigger markets and more buyers, but because people have migrated out, the market that is required is more, but the market size that is present is less. Okay, now social and family life. Now because people are migrating out of the country, they do not have a proper family life. Most of the children are living with their aunts and uncles or living with their grandparents because their parents have gone out of the country to work. Now, because of this, children do not have a very close relationship with their parents. Many of the children are exposed to social vices, meaning they become they are involved in criminal activities, because when they are staying with their grandparents, the grandparents cannot be so strict, or even if they are strict, they do not listen. The children do not listen to any anyone else other than their parents in the family. But these parents have gone out to work, so what happens is they do not listen to the uncle and auntie, they do not listen to those people who are their local guardians, or they do not listen to their grandparents. Now because of this, because there is no parental control, they tend to deviate towards the ill activities of the society. Okay, now we are going to do the last topic, that is brain drain. What do you mean? Okay, we'll do this in the next chapter, next session, because I have to continue with the entire chapter. Okay, we'll do till population and social and family life till here.